Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio today with two, not one, but two Showtime stars. We've got Todd Wishnev, and you can follow Todd at @Wishnev, and of course, Kelly in Vegas. Where'd you get that Twitter handle, Kelly?
Marco's never going to live it down that I...
Todd, do you know that I had Marco in Vegas before Kelly had Kelly in Vegas?
Well, I better get Todd and Henderson.
There you go. All right. And yes, you two guys, guy and girl, were major stars on Showtime's action series. And well, we know, Kelly, you're everywhere. But Todd, you're everybody's having you on. You're making a circuit, you know, with talk shows. I know a good friend of ours, Gil Alexander. You've been on his show several times, and people love hearing all of the stories. A little side note before we get to you, Kelly. It's not all about you. We got Todd here today, okay? See, I'm enjoying that I can run the hosts here, you know, and we have a superstar just like you, Kelly. You know, it's not just all Kelly in this issue.
I don't even know why I came on this video.
Yeah,
this is video.
But Todd and myself actually are both from Pitt. You spent time in Pittsburgh.
Grew up in Pittsburgh, yeah.
Squirrel Hill, and so
those Stillers.
Let's go. And I asked you this question when I met you at South Point, Kentucky Derby Day. So I'm going to ask the question again for all of our Pittsburgh listeners. This is big. Aiellos or Minios?
You have to throw in Napoli's too. It's those three. I go in that particular. I go Minios minus 1.5 slices.
There we go. Okay. Kelly,
that means
I've been to Pittsburgh, but only en route to Morgantown. Like, I just fly into Pittsburgh.
Why? Why do you go to Morgantown? Why do you leave Pittsburgh and go to Morgantown?
Well, there's never a Steelers game that Sunday after
K-State
plays.
It probably feels like Kansas for her, you know, because they got the Davy Crockett hats and everything.
Oh, this is true.
A lot of alcoholism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Morgantown's a great time.
Pittsburgh's good for that. You can go to the South Side and, you know, get blasted too. They let you at South Side in Pittsburgh. You can just
they love
piss.
You.
Yeah,
in the Burgh.
you piss in the alley. So that's like
hang with the
It's like right up my alley.
Yeah. Todd, tell us, how has life been after the Showtime? I mean, did you expect this to blow up the way that it did?
I didn't even know what to expect. Honestly, I wasn't supposed to be on the Showtime show. They found me in the crowd, screaming at the TVs on a Sunday afternoon, holding court with all my people there, and you know, wanted me to be on the show. And I said, okay, what the hell? I didn't know what was going to happen. But I mean, honestly, growing up, everybody always asked me if I'm a stand-up comedian or if I'm in media or something, because my personality is kind of, you know, out there. So I'm not really that surprised. I mean, my mom, we would have a Shabbat dinner on Friday nights, and when my mom's friends would hear that I was going to be in town, they all wanted to get an invitation because they didn't know what I was going to say, you know, so.
Oh,
Kelly,
my goodness.
do they have big parties like that when you're in town?
Yeah, I think we all just meet at Kites. This is a bar I used to work at in college, and I say, can somebody just meet me down here because I don't feel like doing anything. I came to see a game. No, that is funny. No, Todd, I didn't know Todd prior to the show. So Todd hit me up on Twitter, was like, hey, you're on the show, I'm on the show, we should grab lunch. But it is funny because that's exactly what the producers told me. Like, hey, we got this guy at the South Point, he loves to gamble. And I really liked your character, which we now know is really how you are. Just like my character was pretty much how I really am in real life. And they just said, hey, there's this guy, we found him, and you know, he's just an average guy betting games every day, hanging out at South Point and living this sports better dream. I
mean, the only thing I felt that was a little bit, a little misleading in the Showtime portrayal was they made me out to be someone who wasn't as sophisticated in sports gambling as I am now. Granted, I'm not a lifetime winner, but I do know things that the pros know that most average gamblers don't. Not that it matters, but you know.
I mean, that's the perfect description, because I mean, in not saying it in a derogatory spot, you are an everyday Joe at the sports book, but you are advanced. You know edges. You're a plus EV guy. By trade, what is your work?
I work in merchant cash advance. I run a division of a specialty finance company, and it's you know, it's all finance numbers kind of thing. I've worked in stocks.
It just comes natural. The numbers just come natural.
I mean, I've always been I worked on the commodity floor in New York City when I was 20 years old. The guy who got hired with me had a Michigan MBA. I didn't even have a college degree. So it was, I mean, numbers and sports are my two things. And when you mix it together in the goulash of sports gambling, that's a delicious stew, you know.
Delicious stew. How fun is it for you? I know, Kelly, you're every place I go with you, people recognize you. And but Todd, when you're at South Point or at any other sports,
I can't believe how many people have been coming up. It's hysterical. First of all, people, even this morning, just now I was watching the early games, and somebody comes up, oh, you did a great job in the show, or they ask for a picture, or I'm at like somewhere else, I'm at Caesars, they're like, oh, you're the guy from Action. It's like hysterical.
Yeah,
So.
I do think that people do recognize people from the show, and it is really just a fun side note. I was at Caesars last night just standing in line, cashing some tickets, and some guy was like, I know you. Actually, I will say this: not that he knew me from Showtime, that he knew me from WagerTalk. So that was exciting.
Well, WagerTalk, you got HBO, WagerTalk, Showtime. Those are the big
Todd wants an invite back. I like it. Great stuff, guys. We're going to be doing another video with Kelly and Todd. We're actually going to talk about some sports betting, so be sure to check out that video as well. And guys, Sports Memo Text Club, 100% free. Just text Sports Memo to 33222, and you'll get $10 welcome bonus for signing up. Sports Memo, obviously the sister company of WagerTalk. Check both of them out. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk TV.